Last week we said that your talents will enable you to create your world. It will enable you to create your world. And that's the point I want to get across to you today, is that it will be your responsibility to create your world of purpose. It will be through your blood, it will be through your tears, it will be through your sweat that your world of purpose is created. It's up to you. Success is in your hands. And that's one of my favorite songs by Fred Hammond. If you listen to that song, man, it's almost eerie. The way that Fred sings that song. It almost sounds like you're hearing from beyond, but it's so true because success is in your hands. But here's a good thing. Even though success will come through you, you will be guided and aided by the power that works in you. And we said the power that works in you are your talents, your personalities, those things that are naturally in you. Those things, your talent, will guide you through this world, if surrendered to it, will guide you through this world and guide you into your purpose-filled world and allow you to create your purpose-filled world, right? And here's something else, equally as amazing. Because the power is in you, because the ingredients to create your purpose-filled world exist in you or is natural, everything that's already inside of you can be called natural. Because the ingredients of your purpose-filled world is natural, attached to everything that's natural comes supernatural power. Along with natural comes the supernatural. And you can find that in everything in nature. Everything that behaves in its own nature, everything that behaves naturally, also has the ability to express itself supernaturally, right? If you take the item that is created in nature, let's just say water, for instance. It's water in and of itself is simple, right? It barely weighs anything. But get it riled up in the ocean, and it could flatten states. It can flatten a city, right? Because attached, even though it's simple, attached to its nature is supernatural power. Take, for instance, a blade of grass, and I've used this example 100 times. A blade of grass has the ability to pierce through concrete. Why? Because the blade of grass is doing nothing except behaving like the blade of grass. And in its nature is the ability to push through, to conquer whatever is before it. It's able to pierce through something that weighs hundreds of times more than it does. Because it's behaving naturally, nothing can stop it. There's supernatural power in naturalness, in nature. And that's the confidence in which you have to carry yourself in the creating of your purpose-filled world. That as you go about creating it, you can rest assured that whatever comes your way, whatever the obstacle is, naturally will you be able to overcome it, right? And that when you get to the place that your world is created totally, it will be manifested in a way that baffles you and baffle everybody around you, because it was created by a simple creation of nature, you. But the power that was expressed out of you your talent that was expressed out of you will manifest itself in the world, that it will floor cities, that it will destroy cities, that it will baffle cities, that it will baffle worlds, it will baffle countries. Because that's the nature of everything. That's the nature of everything natural. It starts out simple, but its expression is supernatural. Okay, we've quoted Ephesians 3:20 throughout this whole series, right? And that verse explains supernaturalness perfectly. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. The beginning of that verse talks about supernaturalness. God's ability to do exceedingly abundantly above what we ask or think. God's ability to do the supernatural is based upon the power that works in us. The supernatural is based upon the power that's in us naturally. Supernatural power is in us naturally. Okay? I can do all things through Christ. That strengthens me. I can do all things, to me, sounds like supernatural, right? If I can do all things, that's slightly supernatural, right? So, but the supernatural ability that I have is expressed through Christ, right? My ability to do the supernatural is through Christ. Now, what does that mean? And we've heard this scripture 100 times, I know. What does it mean through Christ? What does it mean? How do I, as a person who really wants to go out and live my life, my purpose-filled life, how do I right now go out and do the supernatural through Christ tomorrow? What do I do? What are the practical steps of manifesting my purpose through Christ? What do I do? That's a fair question. That's a fair question. Well, we got to understand something. It says, through Christ, right? Through Christ am I strengthened. Not by Christ am I strengthened. Because by indicates past tense. By his stripes I am healed, which means the past occurrences of the stripes of Christ cause my present healing, right? But this verse says it is through Christ, meaning I need it presently to get to what I'm trying to manifest or what I'm trying to obtain. Through Christ am I strengthened. So I need something presently with me to manifest what I'm trying to get. Well, it's through Christ. Well, how is Christ manifested in you? If it's through Christ that you can obtain your supernaturalness, what does it mean that it's in you? How is Christ manifested in you? How is Christ expressed in you? What is Christ? Christ is simply the physical manifestation of the promise of God, right? God promised a whole bunch of things, and Christ is the physical manifestation of all of those promises. Promises of healing, promise of relationship reconciliation. All of those things, Christ is the visceral, the physical manifestation of those promises. Well, then, if that's what Christ means to me, and that's how he is expressed in me, it is through then the physical manifestation of God's promises am I strengthened. What are the physical manifestation of God's promises in me? Is it literally God? Is it literally Jesus being crucified on the cross? He died, and somehow he physically is standing up in my body. Or is he manifesting physically in some other way? In what way is the physical manifestation of God's promise in me? Well, we've said it over and over in this series. It is the power that works in you. Christ is the power that works in you. Christ is that unction in you that's pulling you toward a particular work, a particular occupation, a particular industry. Christ is that physical urge that's pulling you. Christ is that talent. Christ is that personality. Christ is that thing that you just can't give up. It's expressing in you that desire to play the guitar, that desire to dance, that desire for politics, that desire to preach, that desire to do whatever it is that is naturally in you. That is the physical manifestation of God's promise in you. And through that is supernatural power. When you start walking in that which is naturally in you, you'll be able to create your world of purpose beautifully, explosively. And the world will see that no, there's no way that drop of water can create this hurricane. There's no way that Susie, tiny Susie, can dance the way that she does. There's no way that Bartholomew can stand before thousands of people and give that speech or preach that preach. Right? It is you behaving naturally that will allow you to create your world of purpose. It is you behaving, using what's in you naturally, the tools that's already in you, that's going to allow you to create your world and live in it peacefully. Well, this is all I have to say concerning your purpose-driven life. And it's my prayer that you got something out of it. That you got something out of it. The believing part, the trusting, the surrendering, all of those things. After all of those things, you have to go out and create your world of purpose. There's a purpose in you. Everything has a purpose. There's a purpose in you. Go and manifest it into this world. You need to go now and sit with yourself. You need to spend time with yourself and look inwardly and be introspective and say to yourself, okay, am I being what is natural? Or am I influenced by my environment? Am I influenced by my family? Am I being influenced by trends? You need to ask yourself, are you being natural? Because it's the natural part that creates the supernatural. All right? Again, I hope you got something from this stuff. Comment, man. Let me know something. We're going to start something new next week. Again, my name is Jeff Staten, and this is the Spirit of Sankofa. One love.